Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap. Today was Saturday, the 23rd of September, 2023, and today was an interesting day. Certainly was not a bad streaming day, but I think it was more of a telling day, an unexpected day in a lot of ways, and a day that likely is going to determine what we do moving forward in a way that maybe we did not expect. So let's talk a little bit about that. First of all, this morning, on today's Level 1 podcast, I didn't have nearly as much to talk about news-wise as I did the day before. However, I wanted to address this thing going on YouTube with views, and essentially the fact that it looks like views have been dipping on certain channels across the board. Mine may be one that's affected, or maybe not. It's very weird. In a nutshell, I talked about it on last night's Daily Wrap. I'm not affected financially at all, but it just seems like view counts on videos seem to be lower, and it doesn't seem to make sense. Again, especially because if I'm not seeing a dip in revenue, how could my views be down, right? So anyway, it's not a huge deal, but I talked about it a little bit in detail with some evidence and things that I've been looking at. If you want the full skinny, watch the podcast from this morning, along with some game news and some Q&A and stuff with the audience as usual. It was a decent podcast, I would say. Our main stream today was Mortal Kombat 1 multiplayer, the first stream ever where I had laid out and said the entire main stream was going to be Mortal Kombat 1 online ranked multiplayer. I had done some ranked multiplayer last week, but that was just a tiny bit with Havoc, and then about 90 minutes with Raiden, but both of those streams had been paired with single-player content in Invasion mode to unlock the stuff that I needed for multiplayer. Now we've unlocked it all, so it was time to actually have a major stream. So I selected Sindel as the character who I wanted to use this time around. I thought I had liked her when I used her in the story of the game last week, and basically I went into training mode. Then I went to her trials. I learned a few things doing that. I was happy I did because I learned a couple different strategies and juggles. And I said, all right, let's go online. Let's see how it goes. First of all, just apples to apples comparison. The connections in Mortal Kombat 1 are nowhere near as good as Street Fighter 6. All right, and this is the final game. This is not, oh, you're comparing the beta to the final game or anything. These are both final games. When I play Street Fighter 6, the best connection I usually get is around 18 milliseconds. The worst I get is over 100. But on average, most of my matches are anywhere between 10 to 40, sometimes 50, and really, if we're pushing it, 60 to 80 milliseconds, but most of them veering towards the lower end of that ratio. Today, full stream of Mortal Kombat 1, the best connection I had was 50 milliseconds. Most connections were between 60 to 80. I had maybe 5 or more above 100, and the thing about it is, they don't let you back out. So let's say you're searching ranked, and you find someone. The moment it finds someone, you have to accept, or it says it will penalize you for quitting. But then why are you showing me the connection quality? If I can't quit out because the connection sucks, why would you even give me the option to ready up or not? Why would you even show me the connection quality? You're not giving me an option to deny it because it's not good. So right off the bat, that's terrible, okay? Now, the matchmaking, it's terrible. Why do I say that? Because essentially in Mortal Kombat 1, every single character has an insane combo. Every character in the game has around a 50% or more damage combo that's easy to pull off. Now, I haven't done any research on the game like a lot of other people have. I didn't, learn this stuff ahead of time. I'm very much a beginner, just trying very basic stuff with Sindel. So you would think, oh, well, that means I'm just going to face people who are also just starting off like me. No, because the way Mortal Kombat 1 works, unlike Street Fighter 6, it makes one ranked ranking for everything. In Street Fighter 6, each rank is for each character. So let's say you're really good with Ryu and you get him to master level, but then you want to play with Zangief. Well, I don't know anything about Zangief. Should you start at master level? Of course not. But that's how it works in Mortal Kombat 1. So because I had gotten wins with Havoc and Raiden, a few days ago, they just threw me right into the wolves, even though I was using a new character and didn't know what I was doing with Sindel. So it was like, wow. Round 1, fight. Hit, juggle, 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 juggle. Here comes a cameo to continue the juggle, 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 juggle. You lost 60% health. Throw mix up. Hit, juggle, 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 juggle. Round 1's over. Huh? I didn't even get to press a button. Like, I didn't even know what I was doing. I'm trying to learn the game. Is there any way I could play online and learn? No. No. So the connections overall much worse than Street Fighter 6, and the ranking system terrible. Okay? The gameplay of Mortal Kombat 1. It's really infantile. I'm sorry to say that. It's so basic. It feels like you're playing Mortal Kombat 9, except it doesn't have the neutral ground bounce punches anymore. But outside of that, it almost feels like you're playing a game from 10 years ago. They haven't advanced the combat engine much at all in that time. The advancements they made in Mortal Kombat 11, they backed up on in MK1 and removed. It just feels like you're playing MK10 with a new cameo assist, and that's it. It's almost identical. It's just very basic high-low mix-up, you know, and if you try to block on reaction, good luck with those connections. It would be one thing if the connections were good, but they're not. So people just get away with, oh, low hit into giant combo, one high hit overhit into giant combo, and that's the whole game. In Street Fighter 6, you've got all these elements, right? You've got drive rush, drive impact, drive reversal, drive parry, perfect parry. Okay, that's just a few. I mean, there's so many things with footsies, with tech, with combos, all this stuff that you can do. Literally, none of that is in Mortal Kombat. You've got high-low mix-ups, you've got EX version of moves, and you've got a fatal blow that you do once around, and there's a combo breaker. It's so basic that playing the game, I'll be honest, after having played Street Fighter 6 competitively now for 4 months, this game is boring as dirt. Even the matches that I won, because even though at first I lost a ton, I started to get the hang of it and understand what people were doing, got around their basic bullshit and started basically outplaying them. It wasn't that I had more knowledge. I didn't. I don't even know good combos with Sindel. But again, having fighting game basics, I know what they're trying to do, so I kind of get around some of it and I would still win. So I still have a winning record in the game. I've won more than I've lost. But even when I won, I was bored to tears. I just wasn't having a good time. And essentially what I'd like you to do if you're interested, watch the set from today. It's 3 videos. It's 3 hours of gameplay. Let me know what you think. I really need your feedback because I'm going to be honest with you guys. After today, I don't know if I ever want to play it again. If I'm going to play a fighting game, I want to play the one that I know is better, the one that I'm better at, and I'm going to actually get something out of long term, which would be Street Fighter 6, rather than sinking more time into a game that plays really inferior and just has terrible online experience, and it's so basic. Again, it feels like minor leagues versus professional. It's just, and it's what's sad about this is, the time frame that I played Mortal Kombat, the last decade or so, since MK9 came out, Street Fighter sucked, right? Like, Street Fighter 5 was awful. So it was good to have this alternative, although I never really sunk a lot of time into it. It was good to have a mess-around game. But now that I've played a much better fighting game in Street Fighter 6, I can't really stomach Mortal Kombat. I couldn't believe how bad it was compared to its contemporary. I'll talk more in detail about this, how I think that basically what's happened is that Street Fighter 6 tried to excel and Mortal Kombat just tried to stay the same, and that's not good enough anymore. So I'll talk about this tomorrow on the podcast more in depth, and we'll try to come to a determination. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. The people watching me play the game were like, just play Street Fighter 6. And I was like, well, no, I'm not going to quit now. I promised everyone a 3-hour stream of Mortal Kombat 1, and there were literally people begging me to stop playing and play Street Fighter 6 instead because they hated it. So let me know what you think. I'm curious. I'm all ears. I want feedback, and I'd like to hear your feedback on the situation. Tomorrow we'll talk about this in depth on the podcast in the morning. Okay. Tonight's late stream was Starfield, now hitting its late night stride because from now on it's going to be a late night chill stream. So we did a little over 2 hours of gameplay, and we focused primarily on just the UC Vanguard mission line. This is another faction similar to how we did Freestar Collective and finished it. So now we're getting heavily into the UC Vanguard plot line. We did a lot in the hours that we played. A lot of exploration. We actually had our first new space duel with our new ship, which our new ship seems to be insanely good, like ridiculously good compared to any of the ships I had before this. Some good plot devices, some combat. It was a good variety of stuff, and people showed up and were very chill and relaxed and engaging of the stream, which was very nice because that's the point. If it's me playing by myself on a late night chill stream, it kind of undermines the whole point of doing it that way. But it was fun. I had a great time with it, and it seemed like everyone who showed up also enjoyed. So it was a good stream. And we're going to be doing that moving forward. Night streams every other night or so. We're going to be doing more of Starfield. Okay? Excellent. So, overall today, first of all, support was great. Just so everyone knows, support was fine. You don't have to worry about that. One thing we're low on right now is members. We haven't gotten barely any new members. I think we had 2 today. We had like none yesterday. So now we're down. We're at like 580 members or something. And the goal was to try to hit 650 by the end of the month. Or excuse me, by the end of the week. I don't know how we're going to do on that. But everything else is good. We had, everything else is fine. No complaints here. Thank you for your support. All right? Tomorrow on the podcast, I want to talk in depth with all of you about Mortal Kombat 1. I'm going to flesh out why I feel the game's inferior to Street Fighter 6. See what people think. you know? Honestly, if I wasn't really enjoying myself and my audience was begging me to play Street Fighter 6 instead, maybe that's telling. The bummer here is that I spent so much money on the dang game that I feel like I kind of got ripped off. I guess we'll have to talk about it tomorrow, okay? So tomorrow in the morning, there'll be a Level 1 podcast here on DSPGaming, but then it's React Day. That's right, it snuck up on us. Sunday is React Day, so that means after the podcast ends, we will head over to DSP Reacts, and on that channel, it'll be DSP versus the internet, where I'll be watching videos from the Ultra members, and then a randomized playlist of videos from the Standard members. It should be an interesting time for sure. And I hope you guys will join me for that, on the in the morning. Then on the late stream tomorrow night, it's the continuation of Lies of P. I cannot wait for more Lies of P. It's been an outstanding game, and I'm kind of craving more, so I can't wait for more tomorrow night. I hope you'll join me for that. And actually, Lies of P will also be the main stream on Monday, and Monday night, more Street Fighter 6 ranked with Lily trying to hit Master. All right? So, tomorrow we have a serious conversation about MK1. If we don't continue to play MK1, there's tons of other things we could be doing. Focusing on Lies of P, maybe considering Resident Evil 4 Remake Separate Ways DLC. There's other things to do, but let's see. Let's talk tomorrow, okay? Thank you all for a great streaming day. Have a good night. Looking forward to the discussion, to the React show, and to Lies of P tomorrow. See you then, and peace out.